I think the first practical insight is you do have to start paying some mind to your data, and in a much more professional and sophisticated manner than you have in the past. And largely that's not about what you do inside your IT part of your business. It's largely what you do with everybody who's touching the data. And if you think about that now, that's everyone, right? Everyone's going to have a role to play in creating data that's fit for purpose and helping people make better decisions and helping you make better products. And so that would be number one, right? Number one is it's about all of us. And number two would be it's there's an incredible amount of hype around big data now, and I do not want to get in front of that hype by any stretch of the imagination. I'm very excited about it, right? At the same time, for the vast majority, it's not big data. It's more about little data, right? And learning how to use little bits of data in thousands of ways, right, across the organization. That's part of the reason it involves everyone. And furthermore, of course, there's like if you're not good at little data, it's just too big a leap to go to big data. And for me, the third message is sooner or later you got to sort through how you're going to compete with data. In the same way that you sorted out how you were going to compete with capital and how you were going to compete with people. So you got to figure out what your strategy is. And for most, it's too soon to set that. You simply don't have the experience to know whether you should be a content player or an innovator or a low-cost provider or what it is. And now is a good time to begin those experiments across the entire organization. I think the main thing is for a long time, managers have relied on their intuitions, and their intuitions have been trained by experiences, and many managers have terrific intuitions, and most of them have pretty good intuitions, but they're used to responding very, very quickly to things as things come up. But one of the real spirits of using data is that you integrate what the data is telling you with your intuition. I like to think that you use your intuition to query the data in lots and lots of ways, and then you use the answers to those questions to train your intuition, to raise the bar on both your intuition and on sort of the fact base, and so you pull these things together, and you just become a better manager. And of course, it's not just you. It's the people who work with you and around you and that you work for and so forth. Right? It's bringing a little bit more data into the equation. Well, sooner or later, you're going to have to think end to end. Right? We believe, and experiencing is suggesting that there's lots of hidden nuggets in the data, right? And most of the big data hype and the tool set is around discovering those insights. And that's what we're talking about, creating data scientists in the universities and so forth, right? But an insight left alone, doesn't do the job. But you have to translate those insights into products and services and deliver those to customers at product. And so I think the first thing that most should be thinking about is that end-to-end process. How are we going to go from insight to actual dollars? Sometimes I call it the D4 process, right? Data, discovery, delivery, and dollars. And I think thinking very, very, very horizontally like that is step one for most companies, right? Instead of simply concentrating on the data or the discovery of the data scientist kind of thing, you need to build a cadre of managers who can take insights and turn them into products. I want to tease out the data from the technology, and they, because I think that everybody's going to have the same technology sooner or later. Right? So, I mean, technologies to discover things in data and to run things productively. And that's going to be everywhere, right? It's going to take a lot of courage and a lot of insight to recognize that the data and tech are two different kinds of insights. And so, but you need good tech, right, to be able to do stuff with data. But then you need to have the courage to separate out the two. And in some respects, I think it will be hard over the long term for Ireland to compete with New York and London and Silicon Valley and Mumbai as tech centers. But if it has the courage to ride its tech capability, right, and think about things in the data spaces, what new content can we provide? How can we help people make better decisions in other companies? And if it has the courage and the insight to do it, it's as well positioned as any.